You don't have to say, I'm going to put you here, I'm going to put you there, I'm going to put you there, I'm going to put you there, which is different from some other network companies. So if we think about Tammy, for example, Tammy is Tanya's level 1. Okay, she is directly under Tanya. We didn't have to think about it. You know, when Tanya went to, she had somebody, I'm going to sign up Tammy. We didn't have to say, okay, strategically, where should we position her in the organization? There's none of that thinking. She went in, she signed her up, boom, Tammy is under Tanya. Tawana is under Tanya. Melanie is under Tanya, okay? And so she's building that width, okay? Now, if you look at all the people on this call, all of you are in my same leg. Yes, okay, I'm verifying that. So everybody under here is in my same leg. And the reason is that everybody on this call is under me because they're under Tanya. Does that make sense? Okay, so you are all in one leg of my organization. The compensation plan is designed that when people under you grow, woo, really exciting. But as a responsible sponsor, you also have to keep growing. So at the same time that vertically my organization grew, because Tanya has been reaching out, you all signed up under Tanya in one way or another, I have a personal responsibility to keep signing up other people. So I actually can't rank unless I have at least one other leg. Does that make sense? Okay. So for me to have turned gold, like Tanya was my first business builder, I had, because Tanya and I, we were kind of working together. So my one leg was Tanya and all this was going on under her. I could not have turned gold, even if I'd had 8,000 points, unless I had at least one other leg, which I did. So I turned gold. So that's what we talk about legs. You don't have to worry about how many veins and arteries they have in those legs. It's not important, but you have to have at least 2 legs. Okay. And you don't have to worry about where you're positioning people. If you're personally sponsoring them up, you're building horizontally because they're your level 1. People who sign up under people under you are going to be positioned under them. Okay. And you need to have, I mean, realistically, you have to be active in at least 2 legs if you're going to be wanting to rank. But what we want to do is build horizontally. So we've talked about going silver every month. That means you're constantly building your organization, because let's be honest, people fall off. So the people that helped me go gold, they're not even active in my organization anymore. So for me to stay, so I'm at senior gold, and to stay at senior gold, I have to constantly be signing up new people and keeping that width. So I always have that other leg besides you guys. Okay. So that's the leg portion. Now let's get back to the points portion. And this is where it's really critical, because this didn't matter when they turned silver. You can join and 5 minutes later you can go silver, because all it takes is for 3 people to join under you and buy a welcome pack and you're good. Okay. Because they let you this kind of, it's your first rank, kind of away from it. Get away with it. In order to turn every other rank other than silver, people under you have to be commission qualified. Okay. And you need to be commission qualified. So we have to define that again. Commission qualified means that prior to the last day of the month, there has or have been orders totaling 100 PV or more under your name. That can be your own personal product, that can be retail customer product, and that can be preferred customer product. But let me be clear, you do not get commission qualified with your ambassadors. That's why you don't always just want to have people joining your team. You're also looking for potential customers as well. So I want to review that. PV stands for personal volume. It is the assigned value that Plexus gives to the products. Only with the Slim is it the same as the dollar value. Okay, the preferred customer PV for a bag of Slim is $82.95. So when I have one customer who buys a bag of Slim through me, because they're my customer, I get $82.95 PV. But when they buy a bottle of X Factor Plus, which, pardon me, I don't know the exact numbers, let's say the preferred cost is $45.50, the PV may only be $41. Okay, so it's not exact. So that's why anytime you are looking at your virtual office or even your own invoices, you're going to see the dollar value, which is what you're actually paying from pocket. And you're going to see that PV value, which you probably ignored in the beginning. It wasn't important. Now it becomes important. If you want to turn gold, now you have to pay attention to the PV. So if I have one customer, she buys a bag of Slim on April 25th. I'm all excited. Woohoo, I have a customer. If I want to get paid for that, if I want to earn a commission on that, I've got to hightailer into my shopping and order something to put that total up over 100, or I've got to get myself another customer. That's the only way it can be commission qualified. 100 PV through my account. Okay? Got me so far? So now that I'm commission qualified, if I want to rank, now I need to make sure that I have people under me who are commission qualified. So remember how a minute ago I told you that your PV is only what you yourself bought, your retail customers bought, and your preferred customers bought. Well, what about my teammates? Yes. Okay, so your ambassadors under you at this point, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 only, okay? They are going to build you Plexus points, but only if they are commission qualified. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my example. I'm already commission qualified for this month. So is Tanya. So when I go into my virtual office, next to Tanya's name, she is my level 1 ambassador, shows me level 1, and right next to it in the points column, there is a 5 there. That's because the moment that Tanya exceeded her 100 PV for the month of May, she became commission qualified, and she therefore represents 5 points to me in my organization, because all my level 1s who are commission qualified is 5 points. Make sense? Okay. Tawana is under Tanya. As soon as Tawana hits 100 PV for this month, she represents 5 points for Tanya, because she's her level 1, but she also represents 5 more points for me, because I also get 5 points for everyone who's level 2 in my organization. That continues down to level 3. Okay, as you go down the levels, there are fewer points for each of those levels, but that's what we mean by points. But it only works for the people who are commission qualified. If Tawana oopsed this month, oops, I didn't get commission qualified, she not only doesn't get any money, I don't get any Plexus points for her. This is why we train you hard when you sign someone up, get them to turn on their subscription. That is why. Most importantly, it's about them. They need their product to feel well and hit their wellness goals. Ultimately, that's what's most important, because you can't get well if you're not taking your products. So we need them to have their product in hand. But B, if they forgot to put in their order, then you don't earn anything as a result of their being in your organization, because you don't earn any PV for them. And if they're not commission qualified, you don't earn any points for them. So that's how the points work. So let's get back to what it means to be gold. It means that the total points in your organization is 100, and at least 20 of them come from somewhere other than that biggest leg. So in my case, when I turned gold, I had to have my leg that was building under Tanya. I had to find 20 points from elsewhere. That could be 4 separate people, 4 separate level 1s, and there was 5 points under each of them. That might be a single level 1 who signed up 3 people under them, right? This is where the power of 3 becomes so incredible. Because if you are actually duplicating the power of 3, there's you. There are 3 people under you. Once they're commission qualified, that's 3 people times 5 points. There's 15 points right there. When they duplicate, that's now 9 people on your level 2. 9 people at 5 points each, that's another 45 points. Bang, you're up to 60 points just because the 3 people that you signed up also signed up 3 people. The next level is 27 people. 27 times 5 is 135 points. Bam, you're gold. Because you've exceeded 100 and you have more than one leg going on. So if we actually embrace the power of 3, and everybody said, you know what? Just get out there and get 3. Get out there and get 3. You only have to go 3 levels deep and you're going to turn gold. Just like that. That's why the super start, that fast start gold is possible, right? Now, that may not work for you because maybe some of the people that you have are wholesale customers. They're not interested in running the business. That's fine, because another way to go gold is just get 20 people signed up directly under you. That counts too, right? Because every one of those friends or family members that you get to sign up under you that are commission qualified because they're buying product, that's 5 points. So the shape of your organization can be any shape at all, as long as it's not a straight line. If it's a straight line down, you're not going gold because you don't have an outside leg. But the moment that your organization has at least 2 people that you've personally sponsored, but that could be 2 to 2,000 if you wanted it to be, then you have that possibility to be eligible. Okay, so 100 total points. That's why we say 20 people on your first level, that's 100 points, because 20 times 5 is 100. Or maybe you have 10 on your first level and they each got 1. That would also be 20 people in your first 2 levels, right? So that's what it's about. So you're going to make sure there's 100 PV in your account. And the earlier in the month you do that, then that's done. It's off your worry list. And the earlier in the month that your people have their subscription set, then you know where you stand. We have a habit of, just because of the nature of the system, we're always motivated near the end of the month to get things going. So it's very common to have a lot of signups at the end of the month. And the problem when you have a lot of signups at the end of the month, that's leaving all those subscription orders to go through on the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th of the month. And then you're scrambling at the end of the month. Did the subscription go through? You know, are they commission qualified? Did they have their 100 PV? Am I going to get the points? Am I going to get the points? And it creates a lot of stress. Take that stress out. Set your subscription for the first of the month or the first week of the month. Okay. Get your people started. If you started them at the end of the month, yeah, their first month, maybe they're going to be at the end of the month, but just every month have them back it up a little bit. And then you could very easily rank beginning of the month, mid-month. It doesn't have to be at the end of the month. Maybe I've gone too deep, Tanya, but I think I got the basics.
That's really great. I just, maybe I'll take now, like, what do those points mean for you, right? Because the points aren't just to get you to a rank, and what did that do for you besides gold, right? Let's talk about what the points actually do for you. So those Plexus Pay points or points, I guess we've called them so far, are actually profit shares. And so what happens is this. Every month, and this is what makes our comp plan so, like when we're all going on Facebook, it's such a unique compensation plan. It's the best compensation plan. Guys, I have looked at other comp plans. I have friends who have sold products from other companies, and they made like $60 in 2 months. And they were working it really hard. Like they were doing parties every night. And they just weren't getting the traffic. They weren't getting the traction. We don't have to do all of that. The cool thing about our comp plan, one of the many cool things about our comp plan, is the profit share piece. And that's where the points come from. So the profit shares work like this. At the end of every month, Plexus knows what its gross monthly income was. And what they do with that is they take the gross monthly bottom line and they give 50% of it, 50% back to us. Okay? 45% of that goes to everybody from ambassador to senior Ruby. And then there's 5% of it that's reserved for the jewel pools that we'll get into in a comp plan talk sometime. Okay? When it's specifically focused on that. So 45% goes to the senior Ruby and below, or the ambassador up to senior Ruby. Okay? So why is that important? Because as you grow your team, your revenue stream from the Plexus Pay points will actually be higher than any of your other commissions. And that's where you'll have this thing called residual income, which basically means, when Tammy signed up Liza, okay, Liza, every month, puts her order in. She's commission qualified. She brings 5 points to Tammy. Tammy signed Liza up once. But every month, Liza's bringing those Plexus pay points forward. Just like Liza's downline will do the same thing, and so on and so on. Okay? So why is that a big deal, and what does the dollar figure actually mean with Plexus pay points? Well, let me put it to you this way. Plexus has promised us as ambassadors, and you can find this in your virtual office, that our Plexus pay points will never pay lower than $1.80 US. Okay. But since I've come on board with Plexus, we have never gone below $3 ever, ever, ever. And we're now approaching $4 per point. If you have 100 Plexus pay points and it's paying out at, let's be conservative, let's say $3. That's a $300 part of your paycheck. In addition to the commissions and product bonuses that you're making from your customers, the bonuses you're making from signing up your ambassadors, that and the 5% commission that you're making off your level ones, which again, we'll talk about in the compensation plan. Did you hear how many different ways you could get paid for being gold? Like, mind blowing. And as you go from gold to senior gold and you're approaching ruby, and those are the only ranks I know, then what's going to happen is, like personally that I've experienced, what's going to happen is, like, at first, the commission bonus off your own product and product bonus and commissions off your own product and your customers will be more than your Plexus pay points because you don't have a big team yet. And as your team grows, this is going to grow a little bit with it maybe, or maybe it's going to do this a little bit. But your profit share pay is just going to keep doing this. And that's where the bulk of your pay is going to come from. And again, that's residual. Residual means it keeps paying you over and over and over and over again for an action that you did not once, because we know that we have to follow up and we have to bring people into our company. But essentially, it's that one person who's with you and they're not going anywhere. Julie mentioned that we do have people that fall off. Guys, it's a fact. And it wouldn't matter if it was that you really liked that oatmeal at the grocery store and you went to the grocery store every day, or not every day, every time you went to groceries and you bought that oatmeal, and then maybe there's something that happens. Maybe you decide, I can't do that oatmeal anymore because this thing has happened, and maybe you fall off, and maybe you come back, and maybe you don't. And I don't mean to compare Plexus to oatmeal, but for some people, it's like that, okay? And they're not necessarily going to be all in the way that we are. But I got to tell you that retention is, we can affect retention, and and that's all based on how we care about and care for our ambassadors and our customers. Not that we can save them all, because we cannot. If we can, I don't know the training for that. But I do know that we can definitely make a difference. So when Julie's talking about those profit shares, not only when you go gold are you going to have those 100 Plexus pay points, or maybe you're going to have 105, or maybe you're going to have 150 that month. I don't know. It depends. Regardless, that profit share piece of your paycheck is substantial. Not only that, but you're actually going to get a $250 bonus for going gold. American. Bam. Plus, all those business building, we can't call them that anymore. The incentives for signing up ambassadors in Canada, it's now called an incentive. Right now, it's that double one, which is $50 for a level 1 enrollment with the welcome pack, which I think is amazing. Amazing, amazing. So that's what it takes, like clinically, that's what it takes to go gold. So that's like the nuts and bolts of going gold. And I think now we should talk a little bit about, like, okay, so we know that you could sign up 20 people personally. We know that you could go 3 levels deep and you could have 2 or 3 people adding people, and you're adding people. So we know that can all happen because Julie's done a great job of explaining the math on that. So let's talk about, like, what do you actually need to do every day? Like, what's the action? What's your action to do that? So I'm going to spell this out for you. In your success kit, you have, and if you don't have this, I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it, like, I don't mind, put it up on the team page. But this is what it looks like. Can you guys see that? Income producing activity. And this is my May 15. I haven't recorded everything that's on there yet because it's just been a crazy day. But that's your sheet that you can say, okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, so I need to share Plexus. I need to share Plexus every single day. And I need to share Plexus, if you want to go gold, with a minimum of 3 people a day. And I would even say as many as you can get to in a day, because that will speed up your process. Depends, like what kind of incline are you on? Do you want to go super fast and like be able to like run on flat land? Or would you like to go a little bit slower, maybe have an incline and maybe take a little bit longer? That's up to you. Okay. That's totally your call. But it is true that the more people you talk to, the quicker you're going to rank up. Okay. So if you share Plexus with people every single day and you follow up with people who you're already having conversations with, okay, and you follow up well with those, and we'll put some videos up on the team page about follow up. So you follow up with those people every day, and you're going to record it on here. It makes you accountable, and it also gives you the action that you need to take every day. And then adding people, growing your network. And none of those things is more important than the other. I do not agree that sharing Plexus every day is more important than follow-up. I actually don't agree with that at all, because oftentimes the follow-up is what will get you the conversion on an ambassador or a customer, or will close the deal. I don't really like that term, but I guess we all probably know what it means, so I'll use it. And I would say don't limit yourself to Facebook, but if you're not already on another platform, then just stick with Facebook, okay? Because it is the biggest social media platform in the world, used by billions of people every single day. And my students at school make fun. I'm just plugging my computer in. My students at school make fun and they call it the soccer mom social media. And I'm like, well, you know what, guys? If you want to know what's going on in the world, Facebook's where it's at. And they're on there all the time. So it's not even age specific. But our demographic is on Facebook for sure. I'm just going to plug in before I lose you guys. Okay, there we go. So it really and truly, those are the ways. There is no way around it. There is no shortcut. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You can't that song. You can't do any of those things. You really do have to do that daily work. Now, let's talk about, that's only like the top half or top quarter, pardon me, of that IPA sheet. The middle portion is all about you. So we always say that when we're reaching out to people, it's all about them, right? It's all about them. And we listen to them. We want to nurture them, and we want to love on them, and we want to compliment them. We want to invite them to watch something or to look at something or to read something. It's all about them. But when it becomes all about you, is building yourself up. And that is a huge component. And I'm so happy it's on the IPA sheet, the newest IPA sheet, because it's so true. There's no way, and you're probably not going to believe me, but there's no way I could have talked to a group of grown-ups like this 2 years ago. No way. No way. And now I can get out now, with the exception of the launch where I like almost peed my pants on stage. And I did. I didn't pee my pants, but I almost did. I was so nervous. I was fighting the microphone into somebody's hand. Like I was a hot mess. But for the most part, I can also get up on stage and express myself and tell my story or deliver content about the product, whatever. I can do it. Okay. But 2 years ago, I couldn't. I could in front of a classroom of kids, but I couldn't even talk at a staff meeting because I was too nervous. And my principal said, I want you to present. I was like, no, you should probably ask someone else to do that because I can't do that. And here I am. I present every night of the week pretty much to somebody about something. And I got to tell you, that's because I took the time to build myself. And I didn't do it overnight. It just gradually happened. It happened through taking 15 minutes, and sometimes or 5. Like I literally sometimes turn the latest book that I'm listening to, because I'm an audio girl, the latest book that I'm listening to, and I will turn it on like in the 10-minute break between classes at school. You want to talk about like nooks and crannies for a second. I will take that 10 minutes and I will listen to that chapter, and I will dedicate that 10 minutes to myself. The other thing is positive affirmations. And Julie and I both said this in training. You probably heard this before. I thought that they were so for someone else. I didn't think those were for me. And every day I say them. I have to. It's just like Julie said, you can't go to bed till you do certain things. Well, this habit is so ingrained in me now that I have to say these things to myself. And my positive affirmations are what pushes me through. And it doesn't mean that I never say anything negative, and it doesn't mean that I never get frustrated, and it doesn't mean that I never make mistakes, but I have to say these things to myself because they really, really matter, and I believe them. So I say, look, I am a Ruby ambassador. I am changing people's lives. I am helping people. I am going to help my friends feel better. And I do attract business builders, and I do want people, or have people who want to do business with me. And I do have people who want to collaborate with me in my business. Like, those are the types of things that I say to myself. And guess what? They come true. So 2 years ago, again, thought those kinds of things were for someone else. Okay. And maybe those aren't the things you'd say to yourself, but they are important. And I have them visible to me on my phone, and I look at them. They're important. I believe in them. And that's what you guys need to believe in yourselves, because that will help you when you're sending a message. I believe in what I'm doing. I am going to be a gold ambassador. I am sending this message because this person needs what I have. This person could benefit from my business, and I really want to help them with their, with their goal to stay home, or their goal to pay off this, or whatever. Okay. That's really important. And of course, taking your products and dedicating time to yourself in terms of your health is very important. Julie mentioned she's got her, her exercise gear on. Her intention was to go down and get on the treadmill. Maybe that's not going to happen today, because guess what? Life's not perfect. But I got to tell you, you got to dedicate time to yourself. You got to take your supplements. You got to drink your water, and you got to do something for yourself physically, whether it's like a dance off in your living room with your kid, or whether it's just like, I don't know, going for a walk, or like Velvet does. She walks everywhere. She has 2 feet and a heartbeat. She walks everywhere. So like, doing that is really important. And then of course, there's the whole piece of Facebook, making sure that you're staying connected on Facebook and that you're building your brand. And if that doesn't make sense to you, let me put this very simply to you in terms of building your brand. Actually, Tawana, if you don't mind, I'm just going to call on you for a second. You posted something today, and I think it was be you. I think that's what personal branding is. Be yourself. Be yourself. Show your network who you are. So that means that you want to show, obviously, the most positive sides of yourself. You don't want to be a ranter on Facebook, and I don't think anybody on this call is one of those people. But you want to, show what it is that you're all about, your excitement, your passion, the things that you get really, jammed up about. So like, think about, or jazzed, sorry, not jammed. Think about like, for a lot of you guys, you have kids or grandchildren, and you're super excited about those little dudes, and you do a great job of showing those guys on Facebook. Mix all of those things in with one Plexus type post per day. It doesn't have to be, I love Plexus. It can be an article about turmeric. It can be, a CBC news broadcast about, the microbiome. It could be your excitement about the Joyome. It could be a selfie with your pink drink, just wishing people a great day. It could be so many different things without screaming Plexus, or like we often say in Plexus, vomiting Plexus on people. So building your brand, that's what you need to do, all those things. And honestly, that's not a lot of things. And we're all busy women on here. There's no men on here, right? No. We're all busy women on here, all of us. And busy people get stuff done. They truly do. And passionate people and busy people get even more stuff done. So I know that every single one of you guys on here could be gold, and will be gold. For sure. Because if you do these things and you believe in yourself and you posture yourself that way, people are going to want what you have because of you, not because of what you have, but because of you, because you're living your life a certain way because of what you have. So when we say people buy you, they don't buy Plexus, it's true. It's absolutely true. And the longer you do these things consistently, the more people there's just going to be this organic growth of your network. And it will be just something that you do because you've practiced with this. Okay? That's all I got. Julie, what do you want to say?
You've captured it. Like, this is totally doable. We've spelled it out what it is. And the beauty of it is you don't have to learn new skills. You don't have to do new things. Oh gosh, now that I'm silver, I have to completely change the way I do things. Oh no, I'm going to turn gold and then I have to learn a whole new skill set. It's the same simple principles, just over and over and over and over and over again. And the beauty is, because you're doing them over and over again, you're just going to get better and better and better and better and better at them.
Yes.
That's it. So get out there and do the stuff that works. And you know what? If you had an accidental silver rank, good on you. Go out there and make an accidental gold rank. But you need to be more purposeful than that. So capture whatever worked. Capture what made it feel great. Capture those feelings of how exciting it was and build on those, and just get out there and do it. Just do it.
Yeah. And I would say too, in terms of support as you're doing that, because when we get excited about something that's wonderful, but if you're feeling at all overwhelmed, or if you're feeling like, sorry, I'm losing my voice, it's crazy. Or if you're feeling like, gee, I thought I got it on that training, but then I turned left and then I wasn't sure of myself when I went to send that message. Oh, I kind of backed up a little bit. If that happens to you, do you know why I'm saying that? Because it's happened to me. So if that happens to you, do yourself a favor. Reach out to somebody that's either here on this call or somebody that resonates with you somewhere on the team. It could be me, could be Julie, could be Velvet, could be anybody, could be Judy Lane. That's Tammy, by the way. But it could be, I'm serious. Like, don't allow those feelings. That's why I talked about positive affirmation so much. Do not allow that to make you put your covers over your head. Okay? Because you all are amazing. All of you. Okay? So let's get out there and let's change people's lives. Let's make people feel amazing. Let's help people with their financial freedom. Let's do it. Awesome. Okay. Let us know what you need. Have a great week. You guys are awesome. Bye.